Welcome back, everyone. You made it here, and honestly, that means something to us. You're listening to Easy English Space, the place where we learn real English the way real people actually speak it. I'm Henry.
And I'm Julia. And today's topic is so close to my heart. We're talking about how to find friends, real ones, as an adult, as a shy person, as someone who maybe moved to a new city or just drifted apart from the people they used to know. We're going all in on this one.
And look, before we dive in, I just want to say, if you've ever felt like making friends as a grown-up is weirdly, almost embarrassingly hard, you're not alone. Like, genuinely, it's not just you.
It is so not just you. Henry, can I just tell a quick story because I think it sets everything up perfectly?
Please, yes, go.
Okay, so when I was 24, I moved to a new city for a job. And I remember thinking, okay, I'm friendly, I'm a decent person, I'll make friends easily, no problem. And then 3 months went by and I had 0 friends. Like, 0. I had coworkers I smiled at, I had a neighbor I waved to, but no one I could call and say, hey, do you want to grab coffee? No one.
Oh, that's actually really sad, Julia.
It was really sad. And the worst part is I felt embarrassed about it. Like I thought, what's wrong with me? Why is this so hard? And the answer I learned later is nothing is wrong with you. Making friends as an adult is just structurally harder. Like the system isn't set up for it anymore.
That's such a good point. And there's actually a reason for that. When we were kids, friendship was almost automatic, right? You saw the same people every single day. Same classroom, same playground, same lunch table. Repetition, proximity. That's the engine of early friendship.
Say that again, Henry. Repetition and proximity, because that phrase matters.
Repetition, seeing someone again and again, and proximity, being physically close to them. Those two things together, they're basically the secret ingredients of friendship. And as adults, we lose both of them.
We do. We scatter. Everyone goes somewhere different. Your schedule is different from mine is different from your neighbor's, and suddenly making a friend requires actual effort and planning, and sometimes even courage, which honestly, nobody warns you about.
Nobody. And here's something I find really interesting. Studies show that it takes on average about 50 hours of time spent together before someone becomes a casual friend, and about 200 hours before they become a close friend.
Wait, 200 hours?
200 hours.
That is... Okay, that's both comforting and exhausting at the same time.
Right? Comforting because it means if you don't have close friends yet, it doesn't mean you're broken. It might just mean you haven't had the time yet. But also, yeah, it takes real investment.
And here's my question for you listening right now. Think about your current friends, the ones you feel closest to. How did you meet them? Was it school, work, a hobby, a random coincidence? Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious, because I think the stories are always surprising.
They really are. I met one of my best friends because we both reached for the last copy of the same book at a bookstore. We ended up standing there arguing, very politely, about who needed it more.
No, that is the most Henry story I've ever heard.
I know. But it worked. We ended up getting coffee to settle the debate, and 10 years later, he's still one of my closest friends.
That is adorable. And also, it points to something really important. A lot of friendships start from a shared moment, a shared interest, something you both care about at the same time in the same place.
Exactly. And that's actually the first real strategy for finding friends, especially if you're starting fresh somewhere. Put yourself in repeated environments around shared interests. A class, a club, a sports team, a language group, a volunteer activity, anywhere you'll see the same people more than once, doing something you both actually care about.
Because one-time events, a party, a networking thing, those rarely lead to real friendships. You have a nice conversation, you say, we should hang out sometime, and then nothing. The connection doesn't stick without repetition.
And here's the part most people skip. You have to be the one who initiates. You have to be the one who says, "Hey, want to grab coffee after class?" Most people are waiting for someone else to do it, which means everyone is waiting and nothing happens.
Okay, this one hit me hard when I first realized it. I used to think if someone wants to be my friend, they'll reach out. And then I realized they're probably thinking the exact same thing about me. We're all just standing there hoping the other person goes first.
It's like everyone's hoping to be invited, but nobody's sending the invitation.
Yes, exactly that. So, and this is a little scary, but be the one who sends the invitation. It feels vulnerable. It feels like you're risking rejection. But most of the time, people are genuinely happy you asked. They were just too nervous to ask first.
Let's do a quick practice moment here, because we're learning English after all. Here's a simple, natural phrase you can use to invite someone to spend time together. Repeat after us, okay? Say this out loud, wherever you are.
Hey, would you want to grab coffee sometime?
One more time, nice and natural. Hey, would you want to grab coffee sometime?
Perfect. Short, friendly, low pressure. Not, we must be best friends immediately. Just coffee. Sometime. Easy.
And here's a tiny variation. If coffee isn't your thing or theirs, you can say, "Hey, I'm going to that art fair on Saturday. Do you want to come?" You're inviting them into something specific, something you're already doing. That feels less intense than a formal "let's hang out."
Oh, that's smart. Because let's hang out can feel weirdly high stakes sometimes. But I'm already going to this thing, want to join? That's casual, low pressure, very natural.
Okay, so we've talked about where to find potential friends, repeated environments, shared interests, and we've talked about making the first move. But there's a third thing that I think is really underrated, and it's this: being genuinely curious about people.
Say more.
A lot of people, when they're trying to make friends, they go in thinking about what they want to share, their interests, their stories, their personality, and that's fine. But the people who make friends most naturally, they're focused on the other person. They ask real questions. They actually listen to the answers. They follow up on things the person said last time.
Oh, that follow-up thing. That is so powerful and so underused.
It's huge. Imagine you mention something casual to someone, like, "I have a job interview next week." And then the next time you see them, they say, "Hey, how did that interview go?" That tiny thing, remembering, following up, it makes people feel seen. And feeling seen is at the heart of every real friendship.
You know what? That reminds me of something. I had a coworker once who always remembered little things. Like, she remembered my sister's name. She remembered that I was trying to learn to cook. She asked about things I'd mentioned weeks earlier. And I remember thinking, why do I feel so comfortable around her? And it was that. She paid attention.
And were you too close?
We became really close, yeah. She moved away eventually, and it was one of those quiet little heartbreaks. You know the kind?
Yeah, I do. The friendships that end not with a fight, but just with distance and life getting in the way. Those are sometimes the saddest.
They really are. And I think a lot of people have those. People they were close to once, and now they just exist as a memory and a name on their phone they never call.
That's actually something worth sitting with for a second, listeners. Is there someone in your life you used to be close to and you've just drifted apart? Someone you miss, maybe? Because sometimes finding a friend isn't about finding someone new. Sometimes it's about reaching back.
Oh, that's beautiful, Henry.
A simple message. "Hey, I was thinking about you. How are you doing?" That's it. That can restart something.
Okay, your turn, listeners. Say this line with us, nice and warm. Ready? Hey, I was thinking about you. How are you doing?
Good. Keep that phrase. Use it. Seriously.
Now, I want to talk about something that I think blocks a lot of people from making friends, and it's something I personally struggled with for years. It's the fear of being too much, or too boring, or somehow not enough.
Oh, this is real.
Like, you meet someone interesting, and part of you is excited, but another part is already thinking, what if they get to know me and decide I'm not that interesting? What if I say the wrong thing? What if they don't actually like me?
And so instead of taking the risk, you hold back, you keep it surface level, and then the connection never deepens.
Exactly. And here's what I want to say to anyone feeling that right now. The friendships worth having are the ones where you don't have to perform, where you can just be a little awkward, a little weird, a little tired on a Tuesday, and that's okay. Real friends aren't looking for a perfect version of you.
That's one of the most important things about real friendship, actually. It's not about impressing someone. It's about being real enough that the right people stay.
And look, not every person you try to connect with will become a close friend. That's just reality. Some connections don't click. Some people are nice, but just not your people, and that's okay. It doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It just means you haven't found your people yet.
And your people are out there. I genuinely believe that. Maybe they're in a class you haven't signed up for yet. Maybe they're at a meetup you've been putting off. Maybe they're the person you've been meaning to text back for 3 weeks.
Okay, that last one was very specific, Henry.
I said what I said.
All right, let's bring this home. The big ideas from today. 1, friendship needs repetition and proximity, so put yourself in spaces where you'll see the same people again. 2, be the one who initiates, send the invitation. 3, be genuinely curious about people, remember things, follow up. 4, let yourself be a little real, a little imperfect, and trust that the right people will appreciate that.
And maybe, just maybe, reach back to someone you've been missing. Today. One message.
If you found today helpful, and it sounds like you just might have, we would love it if you subscribed to Easy English Space. It takes 2 seconds, and it means we can keep making content like this for you.
And for the comments today, we have 2 questions. First, how did you meet your closest friend? Tell us the story. Second, is making friends easy or hard for you? And why do you think that is?
And your homework, write 1 sentence in the comments completing this thought. To make a real friend, I think the most important thing is... Just 1 sentence, no pressure. We'll read them.
Next episode, we're going into something a little heavier. We're talking about bad incidents, the embarrassing, the painful, the moments that went wrong, and how to talk about them in English. It's going to be honest, a little uncomfortable, and very, very real.
You do not want to miss that one. We'll see you there. Take care of yourselves, everyone.